Raj, how about over at U.S. Army? You talked about, gave us the top line on several different activities that are going on. Why don't you grab one of those or another one and give us an example of an activity that you have going on over there that you'd like to highlight for us?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I'll take one that's really soldier facing, right? Because at the end of the day,
there you go. We like that.
The Army fights with the soldiers. That soldiers are a weapon system. So I'm sure you all have seen this, but the Army is embarking on a journey to kind of upskill and reskill our entire workforce, and that includes soldiers and civilians, and to get them to be more tech savvy in future, right? And if we are going to be serious about digital modernization and we're going to use data to fight our future fight, we got to make sure that we are tech savvy across the board, not just in certain areas, not just the IT workforce, but the entire workforce. So one of the programs that the Sergeant Major of the Army and the Chief of Staff initiated a couple of years ago is a modernization of the Army's tuition assistance and credentialing assistance platform. So the Army pays out probably over $600 million in tuition assistance to soldiers, cadets, and Army civilians, so they can take college courses and degrees if they don't have one already, or can go after commercial certifications like PMP and CISSP and Agile and things like that. And so the Army had a 15-year-old system called Go Army Ed. It was a highly customized PeopleSoft system that had essentially been kludged together over the years and band-aided and running in a mainframe system for many years, and really wasn't meeting the purpose and the intent. It had gotten so inflexible and really not serving the needs of the soldiers. So the Army embarked on a modernization platform that essentially rebuilt a new system from scratch in just under a year. And if you compare the sophistication of the technology that went into it and the capabilities compared to legacy, way more capabilities, and delivered in far less time and a fraction of the cost, right? And that is only possible by leveraging, things like cloud native architectures, leveraging platforms. So even though these were customized processes, we did not want to make sure we want to make sure we weren't customizing a cost product. So we went with a platform, a low code, no code platform approach to implementation. But we also took a human-centered design approach, right? That is all about digital modernization, is how do you make sure it's human-centered and putting the soldier first, right? So it wasn't policy and regulations that drove the requirements for the system. We brought real users in on the very first day and sat with them to understand how they would use the system, how they were using, their mobile devices and apps to access it, and how easy could we make it for them. And everything else had to be transparent to the user. And so we went from a system that had 150 videos and probably 300 plus user manuals, teaching users how to use, to one that is so intuitive today that just like any other app on the App Store, they can go in now and then enroll for college courses and set up their degree plans and get approvals all within minutes, and make that happen so easily for them. And while at the same time, we also saved about $20 to $25 million a year by divesting off and sunsetting a really ancient legacy system. And so we're now modernizing for the future because we now have a cloud native system that we can continue to modernize and incorporate new technologies into it, but most importantly, serving the needs of the soldier.